Well guys, we finally got this 2025 Summit X 154 Turbo in the garage, and time to do some things that I like to do to make the sled perform even better. So one of the things that people talk about often is T-motion and how it washes out the sled. And I totally disagree with this. So the T-motion I love in the sled because as a smaller guy, it helps me initiate a turn, especially when I'm down in a really tight spot in a drainage or the conditions are a little bit harder than I want them to be. And it allows me to initiate that turn, and really it's only 2 degrees either side. But people really think that it washes out. And I'm gonna use Jay Menaberry's daily driver to show you what happens to your snowmobile and how this change can help your sled not wash out. So when Jay's driving up the mountain and he starts sliding on the snow and a rock hits the front tire, what happens? The car stops. And of course, because it's Jay Menaberry and he's a hill climb champion, his back end starts to slide out or wash out. Now, to prevent this, if he doesn't hit a rock, he's going to keep moving in that forward momentum. So one way that you can help your snowmobile do that is by using these Salals Kings from Brett Rasmussen Razzmatazz. Now, I'm going to show you a little bit that's really cool about the front end of a Skidoo on the spindles. So you'll notice that your sled will probably come with the skis centered in the middle. So these washers here can actually be moved. So if you want your skis set in the wide position, which is 36, you move them both to the outside and your ski will sit on the outside. If you want it a narrow front end like I do, is you move them all the way to the inside and your ski stance will now be 34. Of course, running them in the center is 35. Now the ski rubber that comes with your Skidoo is a little bit softer than I like. So, and you can see when you run it centered, it's actually covering the full length of the spindle. But when you move it to the inside, it's only covering half, or likewise if you move it to the outside. So you're only getting half of the intended use of that ski dampener. Well, when you change that to the Salals King, you can see it goes the full length of the spindle, no matter what. And these are also stiffer. Now, just to give you an example, I've been using these for 5 years, this same pair. I just move it from sled to sled. So what that does is it not only gives you a full length of your spindle, wherever it is, whether you like to run it narrow, centered, or on the outside, wide, and as well as it's way stiffer. So it prevents the ski from tipping up when you hit a hard track, if you hit another track, or if you hit a hard piece in the snow. Backcountry, it happens all the time. And again, instead of when you hit something hard, that ski rising, slowing down the machine, and then spinning out the back, it actually makes the ski run flatter and therefore way easier to side hill, way less washout. So you can check these out at riderasmussenstyle.com and order a setup. And this is one of the best upgrades I make to my snowmobile. We'll see you out in the PAL or on a side hill or wherever.